video. So I am doing an ovulation test today. I am cycle day 16. Yesterday I did one, and if I can even find it now, I didn't film it. But the one I did yesterday was super faint. So I don't know if my ovulation has passed, if I ovulated like really early, or if I'm gonna get a positive today, because usually cycle day 16 I have a positive, very positive ovulation test, and then I ovulate cycle day 17. So we are gonna find out. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Make sure that dye keeps running. All right, so the dye started. So how I've been feeling, I've been having lots of headaches, lots of tension headaches, like back here. And of course I'm breaking out, which I normally do when I'm about to ovulate, or did already ovulate. I honestly have no idea. I don't know if I trust these tests very well because I've never used them before. But I wouldn't be surprised if I did ovulate early just because of my miscarriage at the beginning of this month. So another video I'm doing after this, I just wanted to film this real fast. I'll attach it to my other video, but I am doing a special video that I mentioned in my last vlog. I was going to do one of my due date with my very first baby, and that's today. And I never inserted the screenshot of the list of my due dates, so I'm going to try to remember to do that with this next video, because I just remembered today I said I was going to do it and I never did. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead, I'm going to do that. These tests take forever, so I just really don't like these. I'm still waiting on it. If you're anything like me, you save your tests and you like to look at them again just for comfort. I don't know if I'm the only one who does that, but I think this is my one from yesterday, and it was super, super faint compared to the other ones I've been doing. Yeah, so yesterday it was lighter than the rest. I need to throw all of this stuff away. Like, my little pregnancy test and ovulation test was pretty messy right now. The trash. I also took a pregnancy test yesterday just to be safe, and it is negative, so no HCG left in my system, so that is great. It is still working. You can see the other line, but it's still working on getting darker, so I don't like how long these tests take, just saying. Like, they take way too long for me, and maybe that's why I don't like them. But it's been almost 5 minutes, and it says give the test 5 minutes. Or does the ovulation test say that? Let me see. It just says lay test flat for 1 minute. Well, it definitely takes a lot longer than 1 minute for this to work. I'm really starting to think I missed my ovulation. I at least missed it on my test. Not saying physically that we missed it, but I think I missed it on my test. I don't know. It's getting there. All right, so I'll be back in another minute or two. I'm just gonna let this sit to get all this dye ran through it, and then I will be back. Okay guys, it's been about another minute or two. It did get a little bit darker. It's darker than yesterday's, but either I'm not gonna ovulate when I think I am, either I ovulated really early before I started this, or these tests just really aren't that good. Or I'm gonna ovulate later. I don't know. I'm gonna still keep testing in the next few days just to see. Because this is darker than yesterday, so maybe I'm gonna ovulate later than what I normally do. So yeah, I will attach this video with this next video I'm going to do. I'm just about to go do it now. I'm gonna get everything set up and ready for it. And I really hope you enjoy this next video I'm gonna post, because it's gonna be emotional. And I'm pretty excited to talk about it, because it is an emotional thing. So yeah, I will be back once I'm all ready to start this new video. Hi everybody, welcome back. So in this video I wanted to do, I did one, I think in March on my due date for the twins that we lost in 2016, but I've not done one for my very, very first miscarriage. As I've mentioned before, the 10-year anniversary of my first miscarriage is coming up in November. And it's almost crazy to say it. Like, when I say 10 years out loud, it's just like, wow, like, has it really been that long? And I mean, it has. I was 16 when I found out I was pregnant. I found out October 15th, 2009. And I miscarried November 8th, 2009. Like 6 days after I turned 17. My birthday is November 2nd. So, I miscarried just under a week past my 17th birthday. And, it's crazy. It's really crazy to think about. Never in my life did I ever suspect that I would have fertility problems and miscarriage loss, pregnancy loss. So miscarriage and loss is like basically the same thing. But I never ever thought I would go through something like that. You know, my mom had 3 very healthy pregnancies. My grandma had healthy pregnancies. She had 3 kids. She even carried twins. My mom is a twin, if you didn't know. She's a fraternal twin, so her brother is her twin. And then her mom before that had like 5 pregnancies. Like, there's just no history of infertility or pregnancy loss in my family. But the crazy thing, here's where it gets a little crazy. My older sister, she'll be, don't tell her I said this, she'll be 31 this year. She still likes to think she's 21. But she's actually lost, I think, 3 babies. And she has had 1 successful pregnancy. So it's crazy that me and her, or her and I, if you want to be completely correct, have gone through pregnancy loss and some type of infertility. But it's not affected anybody else in our family. And me and her, her and I, we have different dads. We just share the same mom. So I don't know where it comes from. Like on my dad's side, as far as I know on my dad's side, nobody has, maybe one. I think my grandma did tell me there was one person in our family, like generations ago, who had suffered a miscarriage. But I'm not, don't quote me on that because I'm not totally sure, but it was like several generations from me. So I don't know where it comes from. But I have had 7 losses. I lost 3 babies in the last 6 months. And before that, my last loss was in 2016. So all of them have usually been spaced out by 2.5, 3 years until now. But that's a whole separate video that I don't really want to focus on those right now because I want to focus on the baby that I lost, my first baby. Pretty much paved the way of the problems that I have now. And I do have an ultrasound from almost 10 years ago. It was the only ultrasound I had with this baby, with this pregnancy, and it is the only ultrasound that I have out of all of my losses. So out of my 7 losses, I only have 1 ultrasound. I would love to call my old doctor's office from my pregnancy 2016 and see if they keep record of those ultrasounds and if I can get one. I don't know if they do that. That might be a really crazy question to ask, but I have nothing. Let me rewind. I have the pregnancy test from 2016 from finding out I was pregnant. So I do have those from that pregnancy, but I have nothing else from any of my other pregnancies. Some people might find that a little weird, that I've held on to certain things from my other pregnancies, but it gives me peace of mind. It makes me feel better. Looking at those pregnancy tests, though, are very, very hard. I have them in a bag on top of my dresser, and I see the bag every day, but I don't look inside of it. And I don't hardly ever look at this ultrasound either. It brings back a lot of memories, and none of them really good. So when I found out I was pregnant, I had been with the father for just over a year, and I remember exactly where I was, what I was doing, and what was happening. And it's crazy because it happened to be his mom's birthday, the day that I found out I was pregnant. We were at an orthopedic place because he was having some type of physical therapy on his back or something like that, and I was out in the waiting room, and I hadn't yet missed my period. I wasn't late yet. I was maybe a day or 2 before, and I don't even know why I had these tests with me, but I had 2, I think they were clear blue. I had 2 clear blue tests with me, and so I took one in, and I had it, I think I was wearing a hoodie, and I had it in my pocket, and I went to the bathroom, and I peed on it. And I'm telling you what, the wave of emotions that hit me when it came back positive was overwhelming. Like, it was, I can't even describe it. Like, I thought I was gonna pass out. I was like, there's no way. Like, there's no way I'm pregnant. Like, it's just not happening. Like, there's no way I'm pregnant. So I'm sitting there and I'm waiting for him to get done. And I'm pretty sure I texted one of my friends first. I'm not really sure. It was either one of my friends or my mom. Yeah, that's how my mom found out. I texted her. And so I'm waiting on him to get out. So he finally gets done, and we go out to the car, and I show him the test, and he's like, it's broke. Like, I don't think it's broke. Like, that's just not a thing that happens. So I don't remember if we went back to his house or my house, but I know I took the other test, and I'm like, this is not, like, I'm pregnant. It's not broke. I am pregnant. And mind you, we're 16 at this time, and we have no idea what we're doing. We have no idea about anything, really. Like, we had no business getting pregnant, but we did. And at 16, you don't really know how to handle your emotions or like process anything properly. And so I know my emotions were like all over the place. My hormones were crazy. So after, you know, my mom finds out, I tell her, within the next week, we do blood work. The next couple weeks was with blood work, and right away my HCG was not doing what it should have been doing. It just wasn't going up like the doctor said it should have been going up. So I'm pretty sure it was the beginning of November when they told me, look, you need to prepare yourself to lose this baby because your blood work just isn't looking right. And at 16, almost 17, you're just, well, I had to have just been 17 when I found out that I was going to miscarry. You can't prepare yourself for that when you're that young. I didn't know that miscarriage was a thing that happened. Like, that's how young and naive I was. Like, I had no idea that you could lose a baby that young. Like, I had no idea. And the doctor I had with this pregnancy was not very comforting. She was very unemotional and just right to the point. And it's funny because I had her again a couple years ago and she was amazing. So maybe it was my age or maybe she was just having a rough day. I don't know. But I know that after a few years, she was pretty great with me. So this ultrasound was done on November 4th, 2009. It had my last menstrual period as 9/20/2009. So yeah, today or tomorrow. I calculated us today. I was 6 weeks, 3 days when I had this ultrasound done. And before I show you guys, I am going to grab the ultrasound of my daughter around that gestation just to show you the differences. I actually have her ultrasound in a frame on my wall. Let me see. This was, I'm going to take it out of the photo frame in the kitchen. Just to see if there's a date on there, because I know this ultrasound was around the same time frame that this first one was done. So there we go. Okay. This it doesn't really say what the date, it tells me like the date I had it done, but it cuts off, it's a picture that I had made done, I had printed, so it cuts off how many weeks I was, so, gosh, I have hair on me, I'm sorry. So this ultrasound is super old. It's almost 10 years old, and I'm really shocked I even still have it. All right. So here is my ultrasound. It says 6 weeks, 3 days. And there was the sac, but there's nothing in it. And this is when we knew that things were not okay. This is the confirmation I had that my baby had not grown. There was no fetal pool. There was like nothing in there. I actually think I have a better ultrasound picture of the one around that time in her baby book, but that, you know, just 6 days later, I ended up, no, not 6 days. November, 4 days later, I ended up miscarrying. So that was pretty much the confirmation that the doctors needed, that told them this baby was not gonna make it. So I'm trying to find an early ultrasound of my daughter. Okay, here's one from 7 weeks. I'll show you one from 7 weeks. Let me see if I have, because that's literally just a few days after 6 weeks. So let me see. I have a baby book for her. Okay, hold on, here we go. Here's one. Here's a good one that has the date and everything on it. I kept all of her ultrasounds because it just makes me really happy to look at those. Okay. So, let's go back in here. All right. And I'll show you the difference between these 3 ultrasounds with her. So here's the first ultrasound I had with her. And I'm trying to think. You can kind of see the fetal, the round thing, kind of. It's very, very faint in this picture. But this was done on September 10th, 2012. I had found out like a week earlier that I was pregnant again. So this has to have been right at 6 weeks. Now this picture is on September 19th at 7 weeks pregnant. And look how much of a difference there is between this week and this week. Like it's a big difference, even from this one to this one. So it just, you know, there's a big difference, and that's how they knew that I was going to miscarry, that this baby was not going to make it. And I held on hope that everything was going to be okay because I hadn't had symptoms of miscarriage. I hadn't had any cramping or anything like that, no bleeding, no nothing. So I thought everything was going to be okay, that they were wrong. And they weren't wrong. So that would have put my due date June 26th, 2010. That baby would have been 9 years old today. And it is super crazy to think, where would my life be right now if I had a 9-year-old? Like, what would I have my daughter? Would I have more than one kid? Would I have multiple kids? Would I have gotten back together with the father of that baby? Would we have made it? Would we have had a very rough time in life because we were so young? There's a lot of what ifs. And I try not to focus on those a whole lot because what ifs will drive you nuts. They can literally, they'll hurt you just thinking what would have happened. So I try not to think about it because the two of us are in very different places in our lives right now. You know, he's doing good. I'm doing all right. You know, it's not fair of me to say I wish things would have worked out, that I would have had this baby, and that, you know, me and him would be connected for life. Like, it's just not fair of me to say. And we're actually friends now. Like, we've been able to move past all this and be friends, and that doesn't happen all the time. I'm not even friends with my daughter's father. So it just goes to show how much can change in 10 years, where I've gotten to this place where I'm okay now. Like, I can accept that it happened. I don't know why it happened. I'm steps closer to figuring out why, but I know that it needed to happen. It needed to wake me up and say, hey, what are you doing with your life? Like, why do you think it's okay to get pregnant this young? And I'm not bashing anybody who did have babies that young, because some of them are the best moms I've ever seen in my life. Some people that I am friends with, you know, they became moms really young, and they're amazing. And, you know, I was 19 when I got pregnant with my daughter, so I'm a young mom. But I didn't need to be having a baby that young. Like, I just didn't. The circumstances were not good. My home life was not good. Like, I wouldn't have been able to provide for that child. I wouldn't have been able to provide a good life. And as far as I know, he doesn't have any kids. So I'm pretty sure it's just me that has the problems. So, you know, it is what it is. And I really hate saying that, because it just makes me mad sometimes, but it is. Things happen for a reason. And at the time, I struggled a lot. I struggled hard with this miscarriage. And some days I do still struggle, but, you know, it's for the best. Had I not lost the 2 pregnancies before my daughter, I wouldn't have her. And she has got me through so much, and so much heartache with going through all of this, that I'm so thankful that things happened the way they happened, because I wouldn't have her. But yeah, it's crazy that you know, I would have had a 9-year-old today. Or, you know, I guess babies come when they come. And it could have been sooner than this, and it could have been later than this. But today was my estimated due date. So I thought it would be really, really cool just to do a video and kind of talk about it a little bit. I know I've done a video in the past dedicating the video to talking about all my miscarriages, but this was kind of special to me because it was my first baby, and it's a baby that I hold in my heart, very close to my heart. You know, I've held on to this ultrasound for the past almost 10 years, and I don't want to let it go. I've even had somebody offer to laminate it for me, and it's very special to me, and I don't think I'm ever going to let this go. I need to put it in an album somewhere. I need to put it someplace safe, because right now it sits on my headboard, in the little cubby hole on my headboard, and I would be devastated if I lost this. So yeah, I don't want to lose it. I think my next video is going to be on the 3-year anniversary of the twins that we lost in August 2016. I might try to do that with my husband. I think that would be pretty cool if we did that one together. Because right now he is the one that I have lost the most babies with. We've lost 4 pregnancies to get, is it 4? 2, 3? Yeah, we've lost 4 pregnancies together, 5 babies. So I will try to do that with him, but that won't be till August. I kind of want to do another video with him. He's not very talkative, and getting him to have time to do it, because he works a lot, having time for him to do this with me is kind of hard to find. So yeah, I'll keep you guys updated on the whole ovulation front, and then look out for the video in August that I'm gonna do. I'm trying to think of new things to do, but it's really hard, just because this vlog is about having a baby and my miscarriages and my infertility journey. So if I think of some more things in the meantime, I'll definitely do them. But yeah, I wanted to share this story with you guys, and maybe someday I can look back on this video, maybe another 10 years from now, just to see where I'm at and see how far I've come and all of that. So yeah, that's basically it. And I will insert that picture of all my due dates when I edit this video, so I don't forget. So I will see you guys later.